Could a lack of self-acceptance be leading to major health problems for women and girls? Well, my next guest is Dr. Brooke Jackson of the Skin Wellness Centers of Chicago. She's a board-certified dermatologist, and she has seen firsthand some of the problems that come with trying to fit into the media's definition of beauty. Welcome to the program.
Thanks so much for having me.
So what are some of the things that you've seen over the years, because you have been working in this area of trying to help women feel good about themselves just the way they are for a long time now?
Well, first I'll say this is not necessarily an issue that's just with black women.
Sure.
I see this in 90% of my patients are women in my practice, and I see self-esteem issues in all colors. And interestingly, part of many women in their 30s and 40s want to be beautiful. What does that mean? How do we define beauty? In the 70s, beauty was defined as Farrah Fawcett, as she was mentioning previously. Her glamorous hair is Farrah Fawcett hair. But now, if you start looking at other magazines, you see Angela Bassett is now classified as beauty. That is huge for a young black woman to be able to see a picture of Angela Bassett with beautiful under that. And she's like, okay, somebody can look like me and be labeled as beautiful.
Exactly, because you wear your hair natural too.
I do.
What's your story? I mean, how did you come into this confidence? Like I was asking Erica earlier, I mean, all of us have to go through like these growing pains to get to where we are today.
Yeah.
What's your story?
About 10 years ago, I was seeing a patient, actually a string of black women patients, all of whom had scalp problems. And I'm like, something is going on here. And then when you start talking to these are women who've started perming their hairs at a very young age, and they've been perming their hair for 20, 30, 40 years. And typically in their late 30s, early 40s, they start losing their hair. And I'm like, I do not wish to be bald. And so that is one issue, note to self. And then I also wanted to work out, and I do not have the time to be sitting in a hair salon for 2-3 hours every week. I just can't do it. And one of the tricks that hair salons do is they wash you real quick and then they sit you up in the corner so you can't escape.
Exactly. You know how we do.
So, you know, I don't have the time to do that. And so part of it was, what can I do to be able to maintain my health? And one of the issues that I think a lot of black women struggle with, as you mentioned earlier, we do have a higher risk of hypertension, obesity, and you need to work out to maintain your health, whatever size it might be.
That's right.
And so professional black women struggle. Yes, I want to work out because I want to be healthy, but I can't look crazy when I go to work.
So are you going to compromise your health for this hairdo? It's a fly hairdo, don't get me wrong, but that's one of the things that you touch on, Christia.
Right, and that's a main part of my experience. I also, like I said, in addition to spending so much time and money, I wanted to lead a healthier lifestyle. So I go to the gym 4 days a week now, and even though I wear my hair like this, I have the flexibility to, go in step class and, do workout at full intensity and still look good when I come out.
Why did you feel like it was necessary to write your book, Thank God I'm Natural?
Because I feel there's so many myths and misconceptions about our hair, particularly since a lot of black women haven't seen their hair in so long. So things like black hair is unprofessional, it's unmanageable, and it's unattractive. So those were kind of the myths that I sought to debunk. Also, there's so much information on the internet currently that sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I just wanted to make it a little bit easier for black women to just make that transition.
Okay, so there are options. There are so many women out there who just think that the only way that they can really succeed in the corporate workforce is by having straight hair. But there's so many risks that come along with it. You mentioned earlier alopecia and thinning of the hair.
It's not just the workforce. I remember a patient that I saw about 2 or 3 years ago, and her hair was very chemically damaged, and she said, but I have to do this because I want to catch a man. I said, well, if you keep doing this, you're already losing your hair. And most men don't think bald is that cute, especially on a woman. And so, what are your choices here? You need to regroup so that you will have hair, healthy hair,
right? And
then you can go forward.
Do we focus, Erica, too much on the external?
I think we do, and I think a lot of times women really have it all wrong as far as what attracts men to them in the first place. It's a lot of times your inner beauty and your spirit and your confidence. I mean, I've seen girls that may not be the cutest thing on the planet, but the way they walk into a room,
they own it,
they keep a man. And then you have this girl that's so stereotypically beautiful and glamorous, and for some reason no one really, wants to date her. So men love natural hair. They love women, period. They love them in all sizes and all complexions, and I think that we need to stop focusing on what they love and figure out what we love about ourselves. And even if you think a certain natural style doesn't work for you, I still think there's other ways to wear your hair straighten without chemically relaxing. I mean, what happened to that good old straightening comb that our grandmamas used to use on the stove? I mean, there are other things you can do if you really just feel like a natural style isn't for you. But I love natural hair, and I can't wait to sew some natural weave in. Give me some natural weave. That defeats the purpose, but you know.
But when you do wear your hair naturally, you actually have more choices. And I tell my patients, especially some of my patients who are in their 40s and 50s, and their hair is thinning because they're 40 or 50 or 60.
Right.
I mean, that's a natural process of aging. But when you have curlier hair, as your hair is natural, you get more bang for your hair. It looks fuller. Very straight hair looks a lot thinner. And so if your issue when you're 50 is I'm losing my hair, the last thing you want to do is blow dry it straight or perm it, because it's going to look that much thinner. And so you have the flexibility to do straw set, to wear it curly, to blow dry it straight if you need to for a party. So you really have a lot more flexibility.
All right, so this is what I want to do. We got one more segment coming up, ladies, after this break. So we're going to round this all out, and I want you to talk to young girls out there, teenagers who constantly struggle with self-image. So we're going to send a message to them and talk about some other skin issues when we come back as well. All right, final thoughts here on Perspective when we come back. But first, some more Facebook feedback. Stay with us. Great conversation here with my guests today. We've been talking about self-acceptance and really loving the skin that you're in, and talking about hair and weight and skin and all those things. And Chris Rock did a movie recently called Good Hair that really caused us to really start looking at this this whole conversation, and I thought it was really great that he gave us the space to have some fun dialogue about it. But it's really a serious issue. I mean, this hair thing is serious. We talked about alopecia, but mention quickly some other skin concerns that women have, and then we're going to talk to girls.
Well, usually my darker skin patients, their #1 complaint is they want even skin tone. Even skin tone doesn't exist. I have patients who bring in pictures of Essence magazine. They say, make me look like this. I'm like, that doesn't exist. That's airbrushing and makeup. And so don't compare yourself to something that is not reality. And I usually always try and compliment patients. I tell them, you know, you've got beautiful brown skin that protects you from the sun. You're probably never going to get skin cancer, but let's talk about the things that we need to do to keep your skin beautiful and brown.
Let's have all of you make some closing remarks, and let's send a message to the girls out there who struggle every day with self-image. Erica, let's start with you.
I would just say pull from within and love you. You know, take a look in the mirror, and instead of pointing out flaws, take a look at what's really beautiful. What do you love about yourself? Maybe it's the shape of your eyes, your smile, the smoothness of your skin. Maybe it's the pimple in the middle of your head. Whatever it is, just embrace it and love you.
All those flaws.
And just have fun. Life is too short to be caught up in the negativity.
Christia?
I would just say always stay natural. You're beautiful just the way you are. I found in my own experience, and Erica echoed this when she talked about being captain of the cheerleading team, when you have a sense of confidence and you just accept yourself just the way you are, you'll go a lot farther in life.
And Dr. Brooke?
I would say change your vocabulary. Don't use derogatory terms to discuss yourself.
Yes.
Always use positive terminology for yourself.
Absolutely, especially when you consider that people are relaxing hair at the age of 2 and 3. It's just not necessary. Love yourself just the way you are. Ladies, thank all of you.
Thank you.
Great conversation. That's going to do it for Perspective today. I'm Monique Caradine Kitchens. Again, friend me up on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll see you right back here next week. Take care.
Thank you.